Hello, greetings. This is Gilles. I wanted to come and say hello. I still see the need to come and speak about those principles of ascension. For as an ascended master, we are led to understand that we are individualized beings. We have an individual consciousness. We are a unique being in all creation, but we also have this universal consciousness. And slowly but surely, we are integrating those two aspects of unity consciousness within our own being and understanding we are connected to the greater whole. For in essence, we have this soul, but we are more than soul. We are more than just a soul. We are eventually we will integrate a higher monad, our collective higher selves. There are many aspects of our higher self that will lead us back to the apex of consciousness, the I am presence, the great spirit that is overseeing this whole process of creation. We have to integrate divine will, divine love or intuition, and active intelligence or wisdom. For this blue, we need to be the master of those three first red, the blue fire of divine will, the pink fire of divine love and intuition, and the yellow fire of active intelligence and wisdom. It is very much slowly but surely we are coming to the manifestation. We can visualize and work with those rays, for everything springs from the divine fire essence. Everything manifests from this ethereal fire essence, those adamantine particle of light, as Heraclitus, the great philosopher, already said, for there is great wisdom in ancient philosophies that haven't really been integrated just yet, but although there's been 25 centuries, it's those things that have been talked about. Heraclitus was talking about the fire, the fact that we are a fire. We are in essence, we are this divine flame, and this divine flame, as a flame, is always changing, always showing different aspects of self. And so we want to follow and be integrated. For at the time of transition, every time we transit from one level to another, it's the way I feel today myself, is that there is a loss, there is a mini-death, there is a loss of consciousness, a loss of connection with guides and spirits and soul. And so, although my I am presence is always there to remind me of that there is a great opening, there's this great rainbow before me. We have to accept that it's always darkest right before the dawn, and those mini deaths are always followed by a rebirth into the next level. But at a certain time we feel like we have been abandoned by spirit and God and soul. So it is just a matter of being patient and allow those few days to die from the old state and to merge into the new states. What we need is to heal the past, to heal all the past, to forgive all the past, to sculpt the future, to envision those beautiful things from our future, and then return to the present, to live in the now, and trusting that as we have sculpted our future, it will manifest. We want to live at the center of the spiral of energy. Everything is spiral, but at the center, everything is calm. So visualize yourself at this great ascending spiral, and slowly but surely we are moving from level to level into new level of the spiral of ascension. For it is the last time we have decided to descend, to devolve into this lower matrix, into this lower physical form. For after that we will be we'll probably choose to continue our existence within the higher planes, although we may choose to serve other planets as well. For the soul needs to be master of this alignment. It needs to discipline the ego personality, the body of desires. For this physical ego desire body is always seeking instant pleasure and gratification, when the soul needs us to discipline ourselves to align with the divine will. And the thought is to express is that God is not self-centered. He doesn't need to be self-centered. He's self-distributive, and his whole attention and focus is on his creation. And and to God it is like you're the only being in creation. He's with you 24 hours, 7 days a week. He's closer than your senses. We have been given those beautiful senses to see the light of the sun, to touch, to test, to smell, to hear, but he's even closer than that to us, and so he's closer than our hands and feet, and he's always there, and the total focus of God is you. It is to God it is like you're the only being in creation. To God the planet is like the only planet in creation, although God takes care of all beings, and so it is hardly beyond our ability to comprehend, but we have to accept that and to connect from within to continue to develop, to unfold this relationship, this friendship with our source and creator. For we are not here to save the world or to save the planet. We are here to ascend into realms of light, and as we do that, we share our light, and the world ascends with us. And so it is Epictet, the very famous philosopher. It's a very small book he wrote. It was 20th century ago, about the fact that there's certain things that are within our power, and this is really what we need to act upon, because there's so many things we're trying to influence that we have no real power over. So it's about using our own time and energy to affect those part of ourselves that has power, and to differentiate between what is within our power and what is not within our power, and to act from within to utilize this time and energy to improve ourselves, to free ourselves from the limitation of the past. All the judgment that is never higher beings, celestial beings have never judged anyone. And the judgment comes from ourselves, from our soul and our higher self, in order to further our progress and evolution. But higher beings are never in judgment. They're always in unconditional love in relationship to us. So never believe that you are being judged by God. For judging God is beyond judgment. He just assists in the process, assists your soul in your education process. When we see sky ship or cloud ship, it's like when you look at the sky, you may see some clouds that look like ships. They're all over the planet and all the time. Some of them are so marvelous. I always take a photograph. I will maybe make exhibitions of those photographs because some of them are so amazing. But they're not clouds that look like ships. They are ships that take a form of a cloud. So feel the connection, and you can already establish the links when you see them. You can already connect through the feeling state of life to those cloud ships. For there is the 3D population and the 4D population. It's already pretty much been defined. So those in 3Ds are those who have not chosen the ascension. They will finish their life on this planet and then incarnate on other planets. But for all those who are in ascension, you're already in the 4th dimension, and soon there will be a very clear differentiation between those in 3D and those in 4D. For 4D is a transitional realm. We won't be there very long. It is just a means by which to achieve the ascension in the 5th dimension. So I'm gonna pull a few cards. I hope you're having a good day. For regardless of my doubts, my limitation, I feel like there is a great deal of that is we're right around the corner of this great amazing shift. For the past is abundance. I'm not gonna comment on them. I will let you feel it. The present is unity. And the future is purification. This purification will continue. We have decided to clean up. And this is what we're working on right now is the triumph. We want to be triumphant, to allow the light within ourselves, the soul and the spirit, to be triumphant over the ego and the limitation, and the love to be triumphant over our fear, to be our certainties of this ascension, to be triumphant over our doubts. And the outcome will be complementarity. We're going to fit within the grace and ease, with grace and ease, into the other parts of ourselves, which is the world. The world, and we're also going to be able to attract those beings that are fully complement to us in relationship to the collective plan, to the plan of creation. Well, I hope this resonated with you. The two paintings behind me are not quite finished, but they're close. This is a painting of the New Earth with the Americas, and there is those planets with Hopi, and it says Red Lives Matters. And there's Luna, Eros, Saturn, Ceres, Mars, Diana, Chiron, Hebe, Amor, Jupiter, Juno, Metis, Neptune, Pallas Athena, Eunomia, Sol, Sedna, Mercury, Vesta, Venus, Uranus, and Euphrosyne. And Hopi is a planet that is the great spirit who get the frequency of the great spirit of the Amérindians. And it says red lives matters because in essence the original inhabitant of the Americas were the red race, and they were the guardian. They were the first race. They were the guardians of the DNA, the guardian of the land. And when the conquistadors and the European came, they conquered and now all the not just the Aborigine, the original people, the first people of Americas, but all the Indian tribes have been confined in very they didn't get I think what they deserve. They were left in poverty and they haven't really been honored for all the work they've done for the planet. And all the Aboriginal, the primary people of the world are very connected to the planet, and they are the guardian of the ecology. And so in the future, I think they're going to be returned to a state where they're going to be more respected for all they've done for the planet, and they will find a more honored place in our society for it is right now. There is this tension in America, but I think red race is very important also. Not just everybody is important in any event, and we all have to work through love, integration, and kindness. And this is another painting. It's not quite finished. There may be some details. It's called Mona Lisa Superstar. It's the Giocondo. And so she's looking out, and maybe the eyes and the smile, and also and there is the astrology of Leonardo da Vinci. What's very unusual is that we know the ascendant of Leonardo da Vinci. We know the hour of his birth, which is very unusual because he was born in the 16th century. And so here he's got on his first house, he's got his ascendant is in Sagittarius with Pallas Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And then his second house in Capricorn, there is Vesta, the goddess of purity. And then there is Mars, the god of war, but it's also the willpower. In Aquarius, in the third house, then there is Jupiter, that's on the crest between his third and fourth house, between Pisces, and which is conjuncting the moon, which is the emotion. Then there is Mercury in Aries. He's got Mercury in Aries, which is the lower mind, but also the magician, the messenger of the sun. And then there is the sun here, that's on the crest, that's conjuncting Venus. Venus is our like and dislike. She's the goddess of love, earthly love, or romantic love, which is Aphrodite originally, but it's far more because Venus is a very advanced civilization, and we'll come to realize that very soon. Then there is Chiron in the seventh house, which is the wounded healer, the one that shows us our wounds in order to heal them. And then in the eighth house, it's got Uranus, the awakener that holds the crown, and then Juno, which is Hera, the goddess of fidelity, of home and fidelity. And then in the ninth house, it's got Pluto, the lord of the underworld, the subconscious, which is conjuncting Ceres, which is the Demeter, the goddess of growth and natural growth. And then there is Neptune. He's got Neptune in between the 10th and the 11th house, which is the Neptune is the world of dream, the ocean. It's also the one who delivers us from addiction. It's also the world of illusions, and which is near Saturn in the 11th house, which is the lord of karma, that responsibility, the karmic responsibility. With his ring, is like entrapping us and remind us of this responsibility, which is connected to Chiron. And then he's got none of the major planets in Scorpio, but what's interesting is he's got all his planets very spread out. And it's an interesting painting. Maybe one day it will hang in the Louvre next to the original. I'm going to sing a song that's like talk about those moments of darkness, but there's always a rainbow that will emerge as from the darkness. There is the light always emerge. But it went through my head, a song of the Rolling Stones. It goes like this. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girl walks by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black. with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their head and quickly look away, like a newborn baby just happens every day. I look inside my heart and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black. No more will my green seagulls turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. La 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 la. La 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 la. I wanna see it painted, painted, painted black, black as a night, black as coal. I wanna see the sun blotted out of the sky. I wanna see it painted, 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 painted black. La 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 la. La 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 la. Great songs from the Rolling Stones. I love their music. Even then in this song, there's a grim of hope in all this blackness. When he says, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. So there is always hope within the darkness, no matter what we go through, those mini deaths where we feel we've been abandoned, we feel like we are left in the dark. And the card of the day is actually a card of joy, for it is the 6 of Raphael. Allow the child to emerge from within you. New friends or old relation found, coming back. Children or childhood, so it is about joy, about meeting soulmate, about finding those people that makes you feel like a child. When you can play, you can find there's this inner joy, those memory, those soul connection that are emerging. So I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.